Aloha, it's Amy here. Great to have you on live on this webinar training. I'm super excited to be here with you and very happy that you can join me. This is a webinar training called Breakthrough to Your Fun and Fabulous Life. And it is specifically for those of you who are entrepreneurs, maybe you are CEOs, you could be a business leader or a community leader, someone who's an expert in your profession. I work with people who are in the healthcare industry, doctors, lawyers. I work with financial advisors, business owners, and I help you overcome the fears or procrastination that might be holding you back from becoming more productive, more successful, and having more free time. So if that sounds like you, you're totally in the right place on this webinar. Today's webinar is called Beating the Stress of Business Travel. Dun, 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 dun. So many of you travel for business, myself included, and you got to know how to keep your mind in the right place so that you don't get stressed out when you do so much travel. Before I get into the training, I want to welcome you, those of you who are watching live and those of you who are watching the replay. For those of you who are watching live, I invite you to pop your name, tell me where you're from and what your name is so that I can get to know you and welcome you to the training today. I'm just going to grab my glass of water while you do that, so that we can get the show on the road. I'm joining you live from Vancouver Island. Such a beautiful place to be doing this training from, in my home. And I'll tell you a little bit about my story and how it relates to business travel, so that you can get an idea of where I'm coming from and see how you can relate to me. So I guess my business travel started when I was about a couple years into business. I started traveling more and created a lifestyle that was portable with the work that I do privately with my coaching clients and with my group coaching program. It's called Breakthrough to Your Fun and Fabulous Life. So I traveled to Hawaii. I often travel to Gulf Islands around where I live, and I work from those places. I absolutely love going on vacation or just going away to be, have time to think and be able to still run my business. I'm very, very, very thankful that I have this balance. But it took planning and preparation and self-awareness to know how I could do that and how I could make it successful even while I was away. So it's taken some strategic tools that I'm going to share with you today so that you can apply that in your life and you don't have to feel stressed. You can feel like you're in control of as much as possible when you're traveling and doing business, so that you can stay healthy and happy and feel like you have a lot of energy still. I really felt like it was a challenge at first because I traveled with my family and I didn't think at first of the time zone differences that I would be experiencing with my clients and how that would work with my lifestyle when I was away from home. What I found was I needed some key ingredients so that my family didn't get stressed. I could wake up at a reasonable hour to speak with my clients and made sure that technically everything was working. So once I handled all of those background issues, then the stress levels in our family decreased. I felt like I was in more control, and that your clients will really be able to sense that. If you're working away from the office, you need to be in a really good mind space, and emotionally you need to feel well rested and all of that. Otherwise, your clients, your colleagues, maybe your boss They're not going to get this high achieving person that you usually are. You're going to show up as less productive, less happy, and some people will be able to pick up on that. So you want to really work on the behind the scenes stuff in your own life so that you can be a total success in your business as well as in your personal life. So if you're just joining us, I'm going to welcome you and invite you to put your name and where you're from in the chat box. And then I'm going to get going showing you some slides, and we'll get into the nitty-gritty, really good, juicy stuff of the webinar, which happens weekly, by the way. And so I'm going to hop into showing you the slides now and invite you to grab your pen and paper or your tablet or your iPad and take some good notes here, because usually there are one or two keys that you either haven't heard before or you need to hear again, and they're specifically for you today. So let's start with the training. These weekly webinars are called Breakthrough to Your Fun and Fabulous Life. My encouragement for you is to create time for yourself to be on these webinars live so that you can learn skills to decrease your stress as a leader and increase the amount of free time and the amount of productivity that you can produce with your one life. So you're going to discover a lot on these weekly webinars. Not only will you discover how to create more free time, increase your productivity, kickstart your health again, but you're going to learn strategies to help you decrease your stress that have worked in my clients' lives, that have worked for myself. You're going to learn how to develop habits so that you can be more productive, so that you can make a bigger impact with your business and help more people. You're going to be able to make your health a priority, and I'm going to show you how to do that, even if you have the busiest schedule. You're going to learn how to master your mindset, because mindset is key to creating a more time freedom focused lifestyle. You'll also learn steps that you need to implement so you can boost your energy levels and have that mental focus and clarity you need to make decisions on when you're, under high stress situations. So these webinars happen weekly. This is a picture of me in a group that I was coaching live. We didn't get everyone in the picture. It was a really fun day. And these are the type of trainings that I put on regularly. I invite you to stick around because at the end of the call, I give away a free book. Every webinar, this is what I offer you. So for those of you who are on live, stick around because I'm giving away a book. It's called In Praise of Slow. So for those of you who right now just feel like you're rushing around everywhere, that everything is urgent and you hardly have time to breathe, let alone eat well, this book is really going to help you learn how to slow down, smell the roses, and don't worry, you're not going to lose your productivity or business success just because you're learning how to slow down. It actually helps to boost your productivity. So stick around. My promise for you during these webinars is that even if you're a really, really busy professional, you can have this balance that you desire. You can travel, you can have better health, you can have a great social life, you can have more fun, and I'm going to show you the foundation you need to build so that you can have that success. On today's training, we're going to have a lot of fun because that's one of my top values. You're going to come away with a fabulous system that's really concrete to show you how you can have it all minus the stress, because you don't need that. I don't need that either. So I'll show you the habits that you need to develop to be highly successful and productive, have more fun and freedom than you're already having right now. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm the author of the upcoming book. It's called From Burnt Out to Bliss, and it's a 30-day challenge for high achievers. I'm a trainer, I am a public speaker and a life coach. I'm a stress management consultant. And like I said before, I work with entrepreneurs, people in corporate, healthcare professionals like doctors, service professionals like realtors and financial advisors, and I help you increase your free time, your productivity, and create amazing health while showing you how to decrease your stress levels. I also host workshops and group coaching programs with members from all over North America, and I personally use these systems that I'm about to show you in my own life. Here I am. Some of these pictures of me have long hair before I chopped it off last year. And in my workshops, I show the participants how to create really healthy boundaries. That's one of the keys to increasing free time. I also speak for caregivers and teach them how to take care of themselves first so that they can give the best of themselves to their clients or patients. A little bit more about me. I absolutely love nature. I love being outside by the water, in the forest. I love swimming. I love singing. And I also love surfing and stand-up paddleboarding. This is me with my boys. Simon's on the left and Gavin is on the right. Here's Gavin and I again on a hike with some fun graffiti in the background. And here's my whole family together. There's my husband Beecham on the left. We love spending time on the west coast of Canada, and it's often very breezy, and you need to wear a wetsuit in those waters because even though we're in British Columbia in Canada, it is very cold in the water on the west coast. So let's hop into today's training. It's called Beating the Stress of Business Travel. So I'm wondering, on a scale of 1 to 10, for those of you who are on live, how big of an issue is stress in your life? So can you share in the chat room, please, on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is stress isn't an issue at all for me, I don't need any tools in this area, to 10, stress is a really big problem and it's a really big challenge in my life right now. And in regards to needing to overcome it, I'm feeling like I need a lot of help. That's a number 10. So in the chat room to your right, I just want you to type in, on a scale of 1 to 10, how big of an issue is stress for you right now? Okay? Okay, so let me share with you the 5 keys that I feel are the most helpful in keeping stress at bay, so that you can really choose which of these areas do you need to focus on most, pay attention to most, and prioritize so that you can decrease your stress levels. Today is like grabbing these 5 keys and transforming them into tools to put into your tool belt so that whenever you're stressed and you need to create more of a balance for yourself when you are working away from the office, working away from home, you know what to do in the moment. So here are the 5 keys we're going to be talking about today. Preparation, so learning to be prepared ahead of time. Expectations and setting realistic goals. So what do you expect of yourself to accomplish? What is your goal while you're away from home or away from the office? Maybe you're meeting clients, you've got appointments away from the office. The third is communication. How well do you communicate with family or with work relationships? And I just see here, Morgan says, hi Amy, maybe a 5 or 6. Mostly I feel like when I'm away from work, I'm missing out on so much at home. Yeah, I hear you. That's something that I'll be talking about a lot, Morgan, is how to balance those feelings, like being present at work when you're at work and being very present at home with family when you're at home. So great to have you on the call, Morgan. Just let us know where you're from. I'd love to find out if you're the Morgan that I'm thinking about. So the third key that I'm going to cover today is communication. How well are you communicating before you head off to work with people that you love or with work relationships? The fourth is balance. So are you making time for yourself when you're away from home? How well are you prioritizing your own needs? And then mindset. Are you being intentional about what you're wanting to create, the lifestyle that you're wanting to create? Or are you just letting your emotions rule you? And when you do that, you can get really stressed out. So let's hop into more of the training here. The first key, the first tool I want to help you create, to put in your tool belt so you can decrease your stress, is to be prepared ahead of time. So I mean mental preparation, I mean physically be prepared, because when you are, you're going to have more freedom, you're going to feel like you can relax, you're going to have more confidence. So in what areas do you need to be prepared? This is the checklist. So even though it seems so stupidly simple, you need to think about your health. So if food away from home is going to be crappy food, you need to think ahead. Are you going to be eating out too much? Where you're going, the food that's supplied, is it unhealthy and heavy? Because that's going to make you feel really sluggish. You're not going to feel good about your health. So pack and think of your health and your happiness ahead of time. Pack healthy snacks. So what can you bring? Nuts, fruit, high protein things that are going to boost your metabolism and keep your mental cylinders firing at the right timing, right? You want to be able to make sure that, for myself, when I go away, it's usually to destinations that have poor cell reception, or cell reception that I'm unsure about. So check my destination. Where you're going, do you have what you need as far as electronics? Make sure that you're not forgetting really important things, because in your destination you might not be able to buy it. And these are critical depending on the work that you do. Most of us need a cell phone, we need a laptop, we need to be able to charge it, we need the charger. Very simple stuff, but so important to your work life. Are you going to be staying in a hotel? Are you going to be away from work and you're going to be at sea? I don't know what your work life is like, but be prepared. Be prepared with what you need as far as electronics, as far as phoning ahead of time to check about the location. And then logistics. Are they set up for you where you're going? Do you have all of your appointments already prearranged and you've already double checked with the people who are doing that arranging, or your clients? Everybody's clear. So this is the checklist. These are just a few of the things at the top of my own checklist when I go away for business that I need to make sure are concrete and settled. I want to share a testimonial with you of one of my clients, and she was a physician and mother who was really feeling challenged to balance work and home life and self-care. She was really feeling like she didn't have the tools or ideas to create that balance she wanted in life. And so she came to me because she wanted help to clarify her goals, to start really achieving some of her bigger goals. And she was starting to notice, as we worked together, that she was seeing an amazing improvement over the time that we spent together in her thought patterns. Because when she was trying to move through life by herself before she hired me, she was feeling really negative, and she wasn't feeling like she could be happy on a daily basis because things were just so out of joint. So as she worked with me, I gave her strategies to develop more peace internally and in her family life, in her marriage. And she felt better about being at work. She felt better about, when she felt stressed, she knew what to do about it now. And her sleep started improving, her energy started improving, and amazing things started happening with her health. She started to fit in time for yoga, and this is a busy doctor. Their schedules are so overwhelming at times. So I'm so happy that the strategies that I shared with her, because she took massive action and implemented them right away, it started drastically changing and improving her life. So Morgan, you're from Winnipeg. Welcome to the training. I'm super happy to have you. You let me know as I work through the training. If you have questions about what I'm sharing or you want to know more about it, just feel free to ask me those questions. I'm happy to answer them as we move along. The second tool, the second key to feel less stressed when you're traveling for business is to create realistic goals and expectations for yourself. This is a really big one for me. If I don't do this, my mind can't be at rest. And what happens is when I get home from work, I feel like I'm disappointed with myself. I'm frustrated with myself. If I have unrealistic expectations, I'm always going to let myself down. I don't know about you, but it's a really pertinent point. I'm just going to grab a sip of water here. So, what do I mean by creating realistic goals and expectations? These are questions I want you to write down for yourself right now. Questions to ask yourself. What will my work hours be? So maybe someone else, maybe you're working for someone else. You're in a leadership type position and they tell you what your work hours will be. But if you're on salary or you're an entrepreneur, something like that, you need to have clear boundaries about when you're going to start work and when you're going to stop. You're not going to check your phone before a certain time. You're not going to work on that extra task or project after your typical work hours finish. You need to decide that for yourself and commit to that. Otherwise, you're going to work your butt off and you're going to be overtired and you're not going to have the energy that you need to be able to focus and give your most to your work, your best to your work. So the second question to ask yourself is, what tasks are urgent and are high priorities? Because if you make everything urgent, you're going to stress yourself out. So when you're at work, what will be your top focus priorities? 1, 2, and 3. Don't let your focus drift to other projects and tasks because you're going to be spreading yourself too thin. So you need to be self-aware and very clear for yourself and build up some self-accountability in this area so that you can be laser focused. The third question to ask yourself is, if I just accomplished one main thing at work, what would make me feel really proud when I come back home? Or if you're a shift worker and you work away from home, when you return home, what would make you feel really proud about how you used your time when you were away? So for myself, if I have expectations that I'm going to get a big project done that's been on the back burner, I'm going to get it all complete, let's say within a week while I'm working away and I have to travel for business. It's unrealistic if I know that I have to meet with 5 or maybe 10 clients in that week. So if I create a more realistic expectation, that could look like, well, I know I'm going to expect of myself to just wow my clients and give my utmost and above to them in those coaching hours that I spend with them. And then I'm going to achieve, say, my top 2 or 3 tasks that have to do with that big business goal. So just make sure it's realistic so that you don't feel let down and frustrated with yourself when you're finished your work. Here is our third tool to help you decrease stress and make sure you feel sane and happy when you're working away from home, and that's communication. So this happens before you even leave home. So I'm wondering, Morgan, and those of you who haven't shared your name on this call today, in what area of your life do you feel like if you communicated more, it would really help things flow more smoothly? So is it at home with your spouse or your children or your caregiver, if you have children? Or is it at work with clients and colleagues to gain more understanding and clarity around business tasks and projects? Is it at home or is it at work that if you opened up the lines of communication a little bit more and asked for clarity, it would really benefit you. So share with me there what you feel like, what area of your life, if you improved on your communication, it would really help. For myself, I would say my communication in business is quite clear. My communication at home always needs to be top of mind for me. So just to share with you a little bit about my life, with a little bit of insight into my family life. So when thinking about communication, you need to ask yourself, who needs to know what? Where am I really unclear? Or where am I expecting my family members to read my mind? You get so caught up in your head sometimes that it's natural to think that other people already know your schedule. So do you have your schedule written out in a place where your kids or spouse or partner can see it? Have you told them about your business travel plans? How much advance notice do you need to give people? How about your current clients? How much do you need to tell them? What information do you need to pass on so that you're not expecting people to read your mind? Because that is not a skill that most of us have, even though we expect other people to be able to read our mind. It's so unrealistic, Absolutely unrealistic. So where are you unclear? What do you still need to know about? What do others need to know about before you head off for work or while you're away so that, no big messes happen that need cleaning up later? So get clear on that for yourself and figure out, where do I need to be more communicative, at home or at work? Here's another testimonial of mine. It's from a lawyer on the mainland in Vancouver who came to me and was feeling quite challenged and frustrated at work because she's very successful, very busy in her practice, and she had no clue at that point how to make time for herself. Like, how do you do that? How do you just create more free time out of thin air when it feels like you have no extra time for yourself? So I showed her how to really create more balance and decrease her stress levels, change her mindset, improve her mindset so that she was thinking about what's possible instead of everything that's limiting her and making her feel pressured and squished because of how she felt like she was lacking time before. So her ability to handle her stress levels dramatically improved. I shared keys with her that really helped her change her mindset and transform some of her beliefs so that she wasn't avoiding things due to fear. So she started really taking action at work and changing how she worked on her projects and started creating more time for herself, for her spiritual goals, for her family goals, so she could see more of her family as well. And she's really rising up and breaking through that glass ceiling to become more of a visionary leader. So I'm super happy for her. Here's the second to last tool for your tool belt today. It's to make time for yourself. You might think this is strange to make time for yourself while you're at work, but if you don't, you will not feel balanced. You want to feel like your cup is half full. You want to feel like you always have more to pour out, always have more to give. Like you can feel like you can smile even when you're in the most pressured, stress-filled situations. You can feel confident and sure of yourself. And in order for you to feel that strength, that confidence, that peacefulness, one of the keys is for you to make time for you. Your energy is going to improve, your motivation and productivity will be boosted, and you want to feel well grounded. So you can't do that unless you make time for yourself, for exercise, for time with God if you have spiritual beliefs. That's so important for me, is to have quiet time, to take time to listen to what I feel God is saying to me. We all need direction, and we all need to be reminded of where to focus our time and our energy. You need to take a step back from business even while you're doing business, so that you're not always working on your business, or in your business, I mean, so that you can take a step back and look at your business and at yourself to make sure that you're doing what you want to be doing in life, right? So I just really felt like that might have hit home for some of you who maybe aren't prioritizing yourself and your needs and your health as much as you want to. And I want to remind you that you're worth it, that you are so valuable, that you are just as important as the people that you serve, as your children, as your other half. You are just as worth it. You're just as important, and you need to not forget that. Here's the last tool for your tool belt to decrease your stress while you're away on business and you have to travel. It's so important for you to choose your mindset wisely. For your emotions are going to rule you if you don't choose your mindset. So what do I mean by mindset? It's the way you're perceiving your situation. So if you're thinking to yourself, I have to do this, nobody wants to do things. Nobody wants to feel like they have to do things. It feels like I'm in a box when I say that, feeling squished in a box. Somebody's telling me I have to do this. I have to have a life that looks like this. No, you don't. You choose your life, and you have to choose it wisely, and you have to make decisions that make you happy, because nobody else is going to make decisions for you. If you're in a pattern of making decisions to make other people happy, you may end up building up resentment towards other people and blaming other people because of the decisions that you've made. So as we mature as women and men in business, you need to take responsibility for your decisions. You need to choose the mindset and the perspective that you're viewing your business and your personal life through, so that you can feel the way you want to feel on a daily basis. So having a mindset of excellence means that you're making decisions in alignment with your highest priorities. So how do you want to feel on a daily basis? Myself personally, I need to make sure that I feel peaceful. I need to make sure that I feel successful in all areas of my life. I need to make sure that I feel healthy. I want to make sure that I feel connected to God and the people who I love the most. So what are your highest values? Because if you live in alignment with those values, you're going to live a life of integrity, and that makes you feel fantabulous. That's my favorite word. So take a step back and think about how you're viewing your life right now. Do you think you have to? Because I'm going to challenge you right now. Instead, think about what you're choosing. Be intentional. This is what I choose to create. This is the lifestyle I'm choosing to create. So if you don't like your lifestyle right now, you need to choose intentionally to create a new lifestyle. Or you need to choose to view your situation from a different perspective. I really like this game I play with my clients sometimes, and it's wearing different hats. So if you're wearing a clown's hat, how would you look at your life right now? If you're wearing your future self's hat, so yourself a year down the road, how would you view yourself and your life right now in business? How would you view yourself personally? If you were a mentor and it's someone that you've looked up to that has influenced your life, you're wearing their hat, what kind of a perspective or mindset would they have about your life right now? So you can apply that exercise to your life and think about your life from all of those different people's perspectives. And it really helps to give yourself an objective perspective on your business and personal life. It'll really help to decrease your stress when you're away from work, because you can start feeling a whole bunch of pressure when you feel like you have to do something. But when you know that you're choosing to do something, then you're maturing and you're taking responsibility for how you run your business, for the profession that you've chosen to be in, and all of those things. So any feedback any of you have about the mindset that you have right now about your business travel. Maybe you want to share a gold nugget that you're taking away from the training so far. It could be about being prepared. It could be about maybe setting more realistic expectations for yourself or communicating more clearly. Could be about fitting in me time, or maybe it's about the mindset that you're choosing to look at your business through right now. But what gold nugget are you taking away from the training so far that's really hit home? If you could share that in the chat room, that would be great. Here's another client testimonial. This is a testimonial of a business owner. She owns a women's clothing store. And she came to me feeling like her life was really out of balance. You see a trend happening here with some of my clients. They either feel like they have no time for themselves and their health, like their productivity levels are low and they want to have more of an impact in the world with their business or in their profession. They want to be able to lead their teams to a more excellent standard. Maybe they want to increase their wealth as well as productivity. This client of mine, she really was having a hard time figuring out, how do I balance time with my spouse and kids and be a successful businesswoman? Because something's got to give here. She was relating to her husband and her children in a way that I think was coming from a place of feeling pressured and stressed. And the time that she was allocating for her exercise was very little. And interestingly enough, she came to me so that I could help her in those areas. But she developed skills to become her own coach and ask herself the right questions, because I was prompting her with skills that I have, an experience that I have, tools that I gave her to solve her own problems, become bigger than what she was feeling challenged by. So she made some incredible personal changes in her family life. She developed a more peaceful family life, and she started being able to communicate and face conflict at work with her staff and team instead of avoid conflict. So when we avoid conflict, it really holds us back from achieving our big goals and creating really fulfilling lives. So like this client, I really encourage you to face your fears so that you can achieve your bigger goals and not just live a life that's comfortable. So how long are you willing to wait for the perfect timing? That's what I would like to know. Morgan, you're saying you really like the wearing different hats idea and looking at your mental outlook from someone else's eyes. Yes, it really, really helps, because we get so stuck in our own perspective that we think it's the only way of looking at things, and that can make us feel stuck emotionally and make us feel stuck in our businesses or our professional lives, and we don't want that, right? You're on this kind of a training because you know you want to move forward, you value personal growth, and you want to see some new results happening. So Congratulations just for being on this training, because as you use that new exercise, new to you exercise, you will be able to change your mental outlook and your mindset to become a more excellent one and a more well-rounded one. Thanks for sharing your feedback. And for you, Morgan, as well as those of you who are on live, it's really important that you don't wait for perfect timing to make the changes that you want to in your life. It's really important that you get support and that you get accountability and that you get mentorship from those who have gone before you. And where you're aiming for, those are the people you want to look to for skills and resources and tools, strategies that have been proven to work. So what's it costing you to not take action? Maybe you're already paying a price in your family life. Maybe you've already paid a price in your health. You know, too much stress does affect your body. It's actually been known to it's been proven that stress is related to some crazy percentage of diseases. It's like up there in the 90s that stress is associated with a high number of the diseases out there. And maybe you have one of them. You don't want to have a heart attack. You don't want to have issues in your bones and ligaments and all of those things because you're not taking action. You're not making changes in your life because you're afraid. There's a bigger cost to not taking action than to staying in your comfort zone. I was a little unclear there. Staying in your comfort zone, to bring this to the bottom line, is not worth it. It might feel comfortable, it might feel better than taking action and moving into the unknown, but it's actually costing you more than you might be aware of. It actually costs your family more than you might be acknowledging. So what price is your family paying? When you're too stressed or you're too consumed with work, you can't be present with your family. You can't give to your family the love and support that you can when you're feeling energized and healthy and productive, when your income's increasing and you're making a bigger impact. So what price is your family paying when you don't take action? The empowering thing to remember is that you always have a choice in life, and you have a choice right now. In the next 30 days, what would it mean for you to have more time and less stress? I love saying less stress. It just rolls off my tongue. How would you like to create amazing life balance? Increase your productivity and kickstart your health in the next 30, 60, 90, 120 days. Wouldn't it feel amazing to be able to conquer your stress and have the tools to deal with stressful situations right in the moment? To be able to kickstart your health to a level that's even higher than you've ever experienced? To feel amazing about your body and your emotional life, your spiritual life? So what I offer on these webinars and what I'm offering you today is a time freedom breakthrough. Tools to decrease your stress and boost your productivity and income. I want to give you a little bit of the details about this. It's a completely free call. What it is it's exclusive laser focused time with me. This is super valuable, you guys. It's one-to-one mentorship and support and accountability with me. And I am a very busy mom, businesswoman, motivational speaker. My speaking calendar is filling up. My coaching calendar with private clients is very full. So the amount of time I have to offer for these free sessions is limited to 5 people. What you're going to find out is you're going to get really crystal clear on an action plan for yourself and what might be holding you back. I'm going to show you how you can increase your productivity and your income and your free time. You're going to learn how to delegate and outsource so that you can become the master of your business or the best professional in your arena. You're going to learn how to decrease your stress and make time for your health. Part of what we talk about is creating boundaries so that you can feel fulfilled, accomplished, energized, so you can make a bigger impact and increase your wealth. I'm going to invite you to apply at amyengelmark.com/breakthrough, but I'm going to warn you that this is time sensitive. When I make these offers, my 5 free times to spend with you fill up quickly. I don't have a lot, so I would encourage you, if this is speaking to you and you're serious about taking action and creating change and getting new results in your business and personal life right now, grab one because they go fast. So the times I've set aside are in the next week or two to help you figure out how you can create this lifestyle minus the stress. I'm going to walk you through all the steps you're going to need to take and help you get really clear on how to get the results that you want. And remember, the cost is totally free. You apply at amyengelmark.com/breakthrough. The worst thing that can happen is that you have the hour with me and then you say, thanks, Amy, that was great. I'm going to go on my merry way. And I say, okay, nice to meet you. The best thing that can happen is that you say, yes, this is totally for me. I've had so much breakthroughs in this hour. It's been the best hour I've spent on my business so far this year. And I know that we're a good match. And if I feel we're a good match, I'll extend an invitation for you to work with me, and I'll give you an application to fill out to work with me. But like I said, this is free. So if you want one of these 5 times, I encourage you not to wait because my coaching calendar is very full. So now is the time where I'm going to stop the live broadcast and I'm going to share with you a link to the 2 free chapters of my upcoming book, From Burnt Out to Bliss. So I'm just going to, just one sec here. Stop this screen share. There we go. We're back together again, and I'm going to share that link with you. So for those of you who are watching the replay, you can see the link to my 2 chapters of the ebook. Just one sec here, I'm going to grab it for you. And I'm also going to share with you that link to apply for the strategy session. So it's www.amyengelmark.com/breakthrough. For those of you who are ready for a breakthrough, what I've noticed is the people who work with me who take massive action, they are the people who get the best results. You know, the people who are just willing to take ordinary action and stay in their comfort zones, they may get results, but if you don't take new action, you're not going to get new results. So those are the people I love to work with. The ones that don't complain and make excuses, but the ones who really get down and dirty and get to work with my mentorship and support. So there's the link to the 2 chapters, and there's the link to apply for the strategy session, amyengelmark.com/breakthrough. I hope you so enjoy the webinar, and I'm gonna leave a minute here for questions. So is there any questions that any of you who are on live have about the training today or about my coaching and how it works? I am yours for the next minute. And I know there's a little bit of a lag on these webinars, so you might hear what I've said about 10 seconds after I say it. I'm just going to take a sip of water while you have the time to hear me there, and then we'll move forward. And also for those of you on live, this is your opportunity to win that copy of the book, In Praise of Slow or Slowness. and it will be sent right to your doorstep. So I'll ask this question. I said earlier in the training that a few years back in my business, I started traveling to a certain island so that I could do business from that island. Do you remember what island I said I went to and traveled to for business? Think about it. If you're the first person to answer the question, I'm going to send you that book, In Praise of Slowness. It'll really help you not feel like you're rushed all the time. And as you read through those 2 chapters of my book, From Burnt Out to Bliss, and you apply the daily action steps, that'll really help as well. Yeah, maybe my question was too easy, Morgan. Yay, congratulations, you get the book. Super happy for you. Have you ever been on these webinar trainings before, Morgan? And just wondering if this is your first training that you've been on, or if you've been on one before and how you heard about it. I'd love to know. So what I'll get you to do is send me an email. I'll put my email address on here, amy@amyengelmark.com. And you can send me the address where I can send you that book. So there's my email address for you, Morgan. It's amy@amyengelmark.com. So I'm glad that those of you who joined live could be here with me. Thank you for taking an hour out of your lives and prioritizing yourselves. You made a great decision. And I'll see the rest of you on next week's webinar training. We'll talk to you then. Bye-bye. I see, Morgan, a little message from you before I hop off. You said, this is the first one I've made it to live, but I've heard a few of them over the last couple months. I first heard you on Tanya Clark Marinelli's radio show. Super glad that you found me there. That's super awesome. It was meant to be, and I'm so happy that you've been able to catch a few of the other replays and to have you on live. So great to meet you, and hope to have you on live again. Talk to you soon. Bye.